If you're in a rush, I've got you covered. Here's the really important stuff that you'll come across during the trash and bosses in NELTHARION'S Lair during Season 2 of Dragonflight. Throughout the dungeon, you'll encounter basilisks. Make sure to kick their stone gaze cast to avoid being stunned. In the starting area, focus the scorpions and dodge the breath from the worms. These worms will burrow and teleport to a player at random, so stay fairly close to the other mobs to maximize damage on them. On the first boss, Rokmora, you don't want to fall behind on the skittling adds. Always be cleaving them down and be ready to hard switch if necessary. Make sure that people are topped and the adds are dead before the smash, or he will pop them, dealing extra damage to the party for their remaining HP. Try not to move too much when the ground goes purple, and the tank should face the boss away from the group because he has a frontal, one of many in this dungeon. On your way to the next boss, focus the pelters. They throw rocks that deal unavoidable damage on random players. This really hurts. CC and kill the drummers before they call their friends. If you can knock them back or grip them, then bonus points for you. Tanks should face breakers away from the party as they also have a frontal. These mobs will also drop rocks on your head, so spread out and sidestep it if you can. A tip here is to watch the cast bar and move just before the end of it. As usual, with any crystal mobs, face the hulks away as they also have a frontal. Wow, they really like frontals in here, huh? When you do get to the boss, move away from the hands that spawn around you before you get quite literally clapped. You need to walk between them to dodge safely. Focus down the idols that spawn to avoid group damage, and when he does the intermission, a little what's under the cup minigame, just keep an eye on where he goes and focus down only his idol. Also try to spread out and avoid cleaving people, as rocks will be falling on your head continuously. You want to exit this phase as soon as you can, especially on Tyrannical. On the way down to Naraxas, you'll encounter a new mob called the Grub Caller. It will summon a grub, which you just need to simply focus down and stun or stop the cast of Metamorphosis. Else they'll turn into a big worm, and that's more for you to deal with. On the boss itself, dodge the green swirlies on the ground. Two adds will jump down from the left and the right and run towards the boss. Focus these down and slow or stun them before they get to the boss, otherwise she will eat them and get a 50% damage buff. Rancid Morpools will also spawn on ranged players. Try to put them as far back as possible. I played with enough ranged and Shadow and Burial Grounds to know that you guys should be very good at this. When she casts the spiked tongue, the tank needs to run behind a pool as far away as possible and continue to run against the drag. The pool will help you a bit, but don't count on it entirely. If done wrong, the tank will be eaten, probably die, and if not, the boss will be buffed to finish you off. In the last room, face the scorpions away as they cleave, interrupt bound from the trapper to stop the tank getting stunned, focus down the scorpions and soothe their enrage if you can. It's called Frenzy, so watch out for it because you can also stun it during the cast. On Dargrul, you guessed it, face the boss away. We're gonna have crystal spikes spawning throughout this fight, and you don't ever want to break any of these with the tank frontal. When the big ad spawns and fixates someone, kite him into a set of spikes to stun it and increase its damage taken by 100%. Focus it hard during this stun. Sadly, doing this will break a set of spikes in the process, so you can do it up to 2 times if needed, but always make sure to at least have 1 set of spikes up. You'll need to hide behind these during Magma Wave. This is the boss's wipe ability, and he casts it at 100 energy, so make sure you're watching the bar closely. And there you have it. Dodge the frontals, basically. You got this, guys. Check out the next dungeon on screen now, and if you're looking for something a bit more in-depth, then I have some detailed master classes coming out soon with all that extra tips and tricks. So subscribe.